All right. Welcome, everyone, to Fleet's live office hours. Thank you for tuning in. I'm glad you're here. So the purpose of these live office hours is to give an opportunity to our customers or contributors, anyone who is interested in open source, etc., to hang out, ask technical questions, get help with anything about Fleet, the product, Fleet, the company, deployment, configuration, code base, anything you're curious about. And I'm not necessarily have all the answers, but before that, about me. So I'm a software engineer here at Fleet. Been here about 2 years. So, I'm mostly running these office hours, but occasionally other people drop in. So it's an opportunity to have another avenue of interaction with our Fleet community. So, I'm here to answer questions, but if there's no questions in the chat, then I'll just, work on my own stuff. Hopefully it's going to be interesting. Let me think. I think that's it. Let's get started. I will be monitoring the chat off and on as I'm focusing on dev work, but let's see what we have for today. Let me, there we go. So today's plan, mostly it's going to be about Android MDM. So let's talk about what we're doing with Android MDM. So we do support Android MDM. I do have it enabled here. You can enable it in your settings, integrations, MDM down here. If I look at it, I get the enterprise ID. This enterprise ID, more debug, internal use type of thing, because Fleet, Fleet standalone does not directly communicate with the Android device management API. It goes through fleetdm.com, so we have kind of a distributed system here. But in our dev environment, you could, set up your own Google project and spin up your own Android MDM. I believe Google has added some additional hoops that you need to jump through. We've been trying this last week, trying to set up our own development environment using our own Google service accounts, and we've hit some issues. So I think Google must have recently added like an additional bar. You have to fill out a form to ask them to enable Android MDM for your Google service account. And once again, this is only for developers. If you want to, have your own thing to develop against, and then you need the business justification, etc. But I think we got that part figured out. So we can enable it. We can have devices in. I do have my host enrolled. We can briefly see my host. Here we go. It's got a personal work profile, so it is enrolled as a kind of BYOD device. Bring your device. All right, so let's back up. Let's talk about kind of what we're trying to do here. What are we trying to do next? And this is something that's going on right now. What are we trying to do with Android right now? Okay, so we have our Fleet server over here. Fleet server. Then we have Google up here. And then we have our Android device here. Got it. Let me switch color. Arrow. Okay. So what happens now when you enroll your Android device? When you enroll your Android device, there's a few communication things happen, but simplistically, the Fleet server, there's actually a midpoint here, right? fleetdm.com, but let's simplify this. Fleet server talks to Google, right? And then specifically it sends a profile to Google, and then Google sends that profile down to the Android device. And then we have pub/sub set up. So when an Android device has an update, that update that update again goes to Google. Well, but it's a different Google. It's a pub/sub service, but that update goes to Google, which gets sent down to Fleet server. Simplistically. So what we're trying to do here, the thing we're working on right now is we want to deploy certificates to the Android device. Certificates like a Wi-Fi certificate or a VPN certificate, largely for corporate use cases. So deploying certificates is not available right now using the current flow, the native support of Android. So what we need to do is we need to create an app on the Android device. So we have our own app. Oops. I'm back. Okay, we have our own app, and we are gonna, once again, we're gonna update our profile via Google. Google's gonna push the updated profile down here. That update is gonna tell the app, hey, you need to check in to see if there's a new cert that you need. And at this point, this app is gonna go directly to the Fleet server. It's gonna ask the Fleet server, hey, I heard there's like an update for me, Fleet server is gonna send it information regarding what kind of certificate it needs. Then the app is gonna go back to the Fleet server, and most likely it's gonna go, the Fleet server is gonna proxy to some certificate authority. CA, so CA certificate authority, right? Arrow, and then CA is going to send back a cert. Cert's going to come back to the app. App's going to install it in the keychain, in Android's keychain. All right. So we're working on, what colors do I have? Blue, yellow. So we're going to be working on this part, right? We're developing a new app, and we're not Android experts, so this is kind of a new thing for us. We're developing an app. We do have like the CA proxy stuff on the Fleet server already. Mac OS, Windows can use it. So what we need to do is develop an app. We need to develop how do we notify the app to do something, right? And then we need to hook the app up to our Fleet server. Although this is kind of building on existing work. It's building on existing work, right? Obviously, there's some configuration on the Fleet server. We need to tell the Fleet server, hey, we've got this special thing called certificates for Android. I think internally we're calling them certificate templates, but let's see. So which part of the process I'm at? So I am actually trying to see if I can push, using our MDM protocol, I want to push this app onto the device. And I haven't touched Android for about 6 months, so I'm still figuring stuff out. So let's see what features do we have. Right? Just let me use AI a little bit here in parallel. Oh man, it's different. Oh man, it's a different profile for other reasons. Anyway, let me ask it. So what I want to do, does Fleet support pushing an Android app down to an Android host via the UI? We were, we're working on this feature, but I don't remember if we finished this. It feels like something we should be able to do, right? Like everyone wants, like we worked on this recently. I feel like we have this taking too long. Come on. Yes. Google Play Store apps to Fleet. Okay. Add app via UI in the Fleet UI. Okay, let's try to figure this out. Let's try to figure this part out. The reason I need to figure this part out is because I haven't worked on this feature. But let's pretend I'm a customer. Like, what would I do? All right, I can deploy an app. I need an app on this device. Here's my device. All right, here's my device. I want an app here. Let's do this. So I go software, add software. Okay, here I'm confused. What does this say? Add software, select App Store tab, choose Android. Okay. Okay, here's the first confusion. This App Store tab says App Store VPP. Okay, okay. It's not here. Okay, it's not here. So this means this feature is not released yet, right? Let me just check our dog food. I go to software, Teams, personal mobile devices. I say add software. I don't have the right UI here. Okay, so maybe I need to update the UI. Okay, I'm running an older version. Okay, let's do so. The branch I'm running is older. So the reason I'm running an older branch is because I've got some Android stuff in my branch. So let me think. Best way to do this. Let me just spin up. I have multiple work areas, so it's fine. I can spin up Fleet. I don't have anything urgent here. No, I don't. This is fine. So I'm gonna go for a different work area. This is in main. I'm gonna refresh the latest main. Okay. I'm running on latest main. Let's deploy latest main. So I'm down here. I need to kill my current server. I need to go to the Fleet 2 work area. I need to go make. Meanwhile, I also need to redo do the front end, Fleet 2. I want to run make generate dev here on the front end. So I have the latest front end. Make here, make for the front end. It takes about 20 seconds. Main slowdown is SQLite. In case you're wondering why the builds are taking so long, because SQLite is written in C++, the SQLite dependency we use. Just run. Migrations, that's cool. Build Fleet, prepare DB, and Android app support. Right, this is 11/12, so it's like 7 days ago. This feature has been released. All right, failed to drop. There might have been like retimestamp or something. Okay, this happens a lot in development environment when I'm missing the database migration. So let's go take a look at this file. I know this is not the main. Yeah, it is here. Go here. What does this do? Alter tab. Wow, there's a lot of changes here. Failed to drop foreign key. Can't drop. FK, VPP apps, Teams, VPP token ID. Where is it? Drop foreign key on VPP apps, Teams. Let me think. We're using the database, yes. VPP apps, Teams. Okay, let's go to our database. Go to our database, VPP apps Teams. I can just do this, VPP apps Teams, to go to that table. quite go to that table. It opens it up here, but I want to see like the details. VPP apps teams, keys, foreign keys. So we're dropping this one, VPP apps teams, VPP token ID. Why is this not working for me? Data grep. VPP apps teams, VPP token ID. This here. It's not here. I'm just checking if this already all occurred. There's a lot of alterations here. It's annoying. VPP apps teams modify VPP token ID to unsigned, int unsigned. So this changes looks like they already happened. I feel like this has been, I already applied this migration. Let me say git, I want to annotate. So I was here, git, annotate with git blame. Okay, let me go here. You know what? I think I did apply this. I remember now. And then I just deleted it from the database. I think I have all of this. I've got multiple work areas and they're in different branches, but I'm using the same database. Yeah, that's why. So I'm going to my migration styles tables. Refreshing. I'm going to add a row here. I'm going to say this migration already happened. Generated one. Upload. This migration already happened. Run the other migration. Everything's good. Just run. Everything's running. Back to my front end. There we go. App Store. Platform. Android. Application ID. Okay, so the thing I figured out yesterday is there's two things. You got your Google Play console. Maybe I'll show it later if I need to. But then there's like this super secret way to add apps to your enterprise. And in order to find that super secret way, let me think. Maybe we expose it. The ID, Google Play URL. Okay. Can only be added as self-service. Currently, Android apps can only be added as self-service. I don't follow. Currently, Android apps can only be added as self-service and end user can install them from Play Store in their work profile. So what does this mean? That means we cannot, what I want to do is I want to force install the app. I don't want to just add it to their Play Store. I'm going to sit down for this. Maybe I should be standing. You know, sitting down just doesn't have the same energy, right? Okay. This means I can't automatically install. So I'm just following the example. Like what? Why do we have that? Why do we have this if I can't click on it? So what I want, we can't do. I don't know what this does. I don't know what this does, but it doesn't seem like it does what I need. I need to just install the app. I don't want it to be added to the Play Store. You know, there is a Play Store, but in this case, the app needs to be just installed directly. So it's like almost we're doing things out of order. Like we need to get automatic install working before we work on this feature, right? So I think we're kind of being inefficient here in our fleet development because I'm trying to install an app, just this specific app, fleet specific app, but an app nonetheless. But we don't have like the infrastructure in place to install apps. Not only do we have not infrastructure in place, we don't even necessarily, as a company, know exactly how to do it. So let's figure it out. No problem. We can do this. Okay, so this doesn't appear. Well, I mean, let me double check. Let me ask this guy again as a follow-up question. Can I force install an app on an existing Android host? When in doubt, double check with the AI, right? Well, we expect the answer is no. But maybe, yes, you can. Okay. I mean, it looks like, okay, it says I can. All right, so bad copy here. And I'm wasting time here talking to the AI, but let's just throw this off. Whatever. Oh, fine. Let's try it. Do we want to just try a normal app? I mean, sure. This is an app, right? Okay. Yeah, I understand. I understand what it's saying, but oh, this is grayed out. This is grayed out. I can't do it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, where's the UI? It says it's in progress. It's in progress. Oh, it's in progress. Let's take a look at. This is public, by the way. This is fine. And I can double check here. This is setup experience, new device, which is, we can do a new device. I can unenroll and re-enroll. This doesn't actually, I mean, this is not the same screen, right? This is this screen. If I go to controls, setup experience, Android, right? We're missing this. Setup experience, install software, Android. Okay, install software. Yeah, it's not here. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Okay, let's figure this out. So there's another team that's working on this. We have to work on this as well. There's a conflict here. Let me note this because we have a sync later today. Force installing software. Like, because we're using the same mechanism, right? We're gonna install fleet software as well as whatever else the customer wants to install. Okay. Okay, so why did I do this? I wanted to see if we had this feature. It looks like we don't have this feature, but it is. We're going to have it soon. We're going to be able to install apps. But it doesn't help me now because I need to install the app right now. So I need to add this app to a profile. I need to update the profile. This is my server code. Oops. Close annotations. This is my server code. So this is something old, clear. So I want to update the policy, right? Like I said, I update the policy on Google, and that update, a generic question, where can I update the Google, is it policy or profile? Having two tabs is annoying. Why do I have two tabs? This is dog food. Forget about this. So I want to patch, right? I want to patch a policy. I can patch the policy directly just for testing purposes. You know, I have my Google account, I can do this. But I wonder, just for testing purposes, I patch the policy. Okay, this is fine. I can patch the policy. Where can I update the Google Enterprises policy? The Google Android MDM policy, so that it gets updated with Google. I'm talking about patching the policy. Okay, while that's searching, I think it's android.go tools. No, that's not it. Android.go. I'm gonna manually find it. We have Android Go, MDM, Android service, Android management client, Google client. So this is the policies endpoint. Enterprise policies patch. This is the call. I found it. I found it faster than AI. Yes. Humans are still better. Policies patch. Policy name policy. It's the only place we call it. Policies patch. Policies patch. This is the only place. Okay. 5 usages. Profiles. Services. A bunch of places we call it. Well, let's go one by one. Patch policy. Yeah, this is what I want. Policy man, policy version. Okay, we stored it in a data store. Policy request, policy, Android management policy. This is the right policy. Okay, that's what I want. Patch policy. Send host profiles. What is this? Send host profiles. Android profile payload. Okay. 2 usages. Okay, they're both here. Reconcile profiles. So I need to upload an Android profile. Okay, but what are the restrictions? See what this guy says. Periodic cron job run, reconcile profile, that's what I found, blah, blah, blah. When you patch, okay, Base actual update to Google happens through periodic reconciliation job. Okay, that's fine. Okay, can I do that? Can I just do this patch policy flow? Let's see. Also, a feature I did not work on, so I'm not too sure. Let me double check. Any questions in the chat? How's it going, chat? All right, it's gonna be under controls. OS settings, custom settings, right? So JSON for Android. So do we have documentations for this? FleetDM.com. This is configuration profile for Android. Can I find it here? Well, while we're doing that, let me ask a question. Where is the documentation for adding configuration profiles for Android? While it's taking its time thinking, let's say Android MDM setup, which API, blah, blah, blah. This turn on, yeah, enrollment, turn off. Feels like we should have a link here. Profiles. Okay. I don't think we have a guide. Is that a miss? This is all like fresh features. Guides may be a little bit behind. Let's see. Fleet custom OS settings. MDM setup. Okay. Please custom OS settings. Okay. Just mention Android. Okay, cool. Okay, sure. Let's do this. Okay, let's do this. Just put it in temp or something. Temp and TMP. Let's do temp. New. This is fleet 2. That's fine. New JSON file. Android.json. We don't care about any of this stuff. We want. We effectively want. I had it here. I had it here. What we want. We want something like this. But in JSON format. So that means. Wow. Are you serious? That was great. Except I don't know if it's application policies, package name, install type. I'm gonna double check all of these. Let me open the API. Don't need this anymore, right? Let me open the Android API. Go here, close this. We want a policies object. Opening both of these windows, annoying. Okay, we're sending a policies object. Policies. Get list, modify, patch, policy right here. Policy, let me make sure it's application policies. Application policies. Looks like it's under application, so that was wrong. So this is applications, not application policies. Okay, wow, there's a lot of stuff here. All right, package name, I have the package name, install type. force installed. That's what we want. Default permission policy. That looks right. Delegated scopes. We want to install certs. Delegated scopes. Cert install looks legit. Looks good. Let's do this. Copy work. The personal disallowed. I don't care about all of this. Will it let me do this? Save. Go to my fleet. Add profile. Choose file. This is under Victor Work Fleet 2. Fleet 2. Fleet 2 temp. Temp. Android.json. This is what we want. Open. Add profiles. Couldn't add. Well, it would have been nice to document this. Okay. So let me think. If I add a dummy profile, this is just like super hacky. I was trying to make this change earlier. Apply fleet enforce settings. So can I add this to fleet enforce settings? And then simply load a dummy policy, .dummy profile, just to force it to pull in these changes as well. Let's do that. I'm running under, which file is this? Profiles.go, Android service profiles.go. Okay. Android service profiles.go. Let's go. Add this code here. This code is here. Let's restart this server so that remake while it's making. Let's check any comments. Is everyone having a good day, chat? Man, time flies. It's already 11:38. New stuff, I would say new stuff is hard, right? We have to understand what's going on, everything. And, Android software management is kind of a new feature for us. Okay, let me see. Okay, what am I doing? I'm just thinking about how difficult this is. We've been there. That's a great thing about working at Fleet is that you're always working on something new. You are always stretching yourself, always learning things, always working on something different. All right, so our hacky plan is to new file, Android dummy.json. Go back to our documentation. Did I lose where it was? Reopen, close tab. Come on, it's here. All right, so I'm gonna just create profile policy. I'm just gonna copy that part. I don't need the password policies because passwords are gonna slow me down for development purposes. So I have my Android dummy. I go back to my Fleet server. I add my Android dummy profile. Open. Close this thing. Add profile. Successfully uploaded. Now, how often does that job run? Every 30 seconds, I hope. Let me remember where it was. I found it. I need to know it ran. My questions. Yeah, let's see. How often does this job run? Let's What's that job called? Jeez, forgot where that job was. Some job that sends, just ask it. How often does the cron job that reconciliates Android profiles run? Every 30 seconds, question mark. While that's thinking, I do have a way to check. So I am able to fetch the profile, so I can go ahead and use the API directly to go fetch the profile. It is here. What did we add? We added something. We added cross profile policies. Cross profile policies. Can I search in this? Can I search here? Use read only. I understand it's read only, but I wonder if I'm search well. Let's not backshed this, yak shave this. We will just search it here. Looks like it's different. Now I forgot what we added. Cross profile policies. Okay, cross profile policies. We did add cross profile policies. It is right here. It is changed. But what about applications? No, it hasn't changed. Come on, why didn't you change? Our hack didn't quite work. I mean, it's like when a hack doesn't work, all I'm trying to do is force an app deployment. When a hack doesn't work, that's annoying. Reconcile, let's go back to reconcile. Profile reconciler. Yeah, profile reconciler. Patch policy, yeah. Patch policy. Yeah, this is what we want. So yeah, policy dot. Yeah, let's just do it here. Super hack. Just gonna put it here. Just do this. If land policy applications equals 0. I'm not doing the right thing. It's an array. Oh yeah. Remember the syntax. If it's 0, we add it. Okay. Recompile because yeah. Let's get it working. Okay, we got 15 more minutes. I'm gonna try this one last thing. Keep wanting to sit. Let's go. I'm gonna try this one last thing. Regardless whether it works or not, then we're gonna talk about kind of like the other work that we need to do, more specifically, kind of get into a little more details about the work. Just run. Okay, just run, it's running. I'm going here, I'm gonna delete this. I'm gonna go double check and check how often it runs. often it runs. Reconcile profiles. Yep, here. Where's the timer? Default interval. 30 seconds. Okay. So that means I can check to make sure. Gosh, I need to reformat this so it's easier to find stuff here. Reporting settings. I can't like where to find it here. Something about policies, cross-profile policies right here. Cross-profile policies. These I think these are confidential, not confidential, alphabetical. So right here, so we want this to be gone. We want this to be done. It is gone. It is gone. Applications are still 0. That's fine. Maybe that's fine. I guess it's fine. Let's add it back. I should have put a printout to run there. I'm just assuming that's the code path. I'm assuming that's the code path. I actually should have added a print statement there so I could see things happening. What do I see on the... I'm not seeing anything right now here. Let's just ping this. Cross-profile policies is set. Applications is still empty. Like what? God. Applications is still empty. I swear. Policies here. I put the policy. I patch the policy. I add an application policy. Is it being sent? I said I was going to do the other thing, so I do intend to patch policy name policy update mask. What is this? Policy field mask. Okay. Not surprising. But I do want to manage applications, so yeah. Like, do we even need a mask? JSON field name. So we're basically saying we update everything. Reflection for every field. For every field, mask. For every field, we add every field to the mask. Okay, got it. Got it. Not going to do this. Let's talk about just a bigger picture of where we are. Double check if we have any questions. 10 minutes for this office hours. So yeah, here's your chance. Now let's talk about like the bigger task. What are we working on here? Let me pull up some boards here. All right, so we got two main stories here. Let me find them. Find them. What's going on here? It's filtered somehow. Android agent, deploy Android agent. Yep, this is one. Open a new tab. Yes, new tab. So we're gonna just do it separately. Here, then we have github.com FleetDM projects. The other is in a different project. I noticed. I'm just getting to the two stories that are actually part of this whole bigger story. It is deploy certificates. Here we go. New tab. Okay, so these are the two stories. What's going on here? Oh, yeah. These are the two stories. All right. Okay, so this is the work. Set up the project. There is a draft PR for this, so we want to build our agent. Kotlin project setup. I actually have it set up. I didn't show it, but I do have Android Studio with some code in here, but it's largely like generic dummy code. Don't worry about it, just stuff I've been messing around with. So we do have the project set up. We need, what does this involve? Gradle, of course we're using Gradle. This is automatically. I do want to add some linting here. Some linting here would be nice. JUnit 6, so we do need to add linting. We do have like a dummy project with Gradle. We do need to add some linting, testing. We do want to at least have the infrastructure in place to run this. I wonder where, I'm getting into the details here, but I'm just curious, where do we specify the libraries? Build Gradle, settings Gradle. Where's like the versions of all the dependencies? That's what I'm asking. Anyone know? Anyone in chat know how this works? Android. I have my example unit test here, right? It's importing JUnit test, but which version of JUnit is it importing? Which version? Where is that? Is it here? JUnit. Dependencies, test implementation. Sure. Is it just pulling the latest? So that's a question. How do we pin libraries? Libs versions, TOML, wow, JUnit 4. You're kidding me. And I see here JUnit 1.3, like I don't get it. Okay, this is, where is this file? Libs versions TOML. Android Gradle, libs versions TOML. Is this checked in? Projects. Gradle. It is checked in. It is checked in. It is there. Okay, so anyway, 5 minutes. Any questions in the chat? Last chance. All right, go back to what I was talking about, planning for Android. So we have to set up project. That still requires some work. Install app during MDM enrollment. That's kind of like what I was looking at. Jeez, should I reassign this to myself? Yeah, I think so. Let's do this. So that's, we estimated it at a 5. Okay. Well, I spent like almost a day on this already. I think this is reasonable. Means aggressive. Get node key. A node key is an API key. That should be straightforward. We estimated this at 8. Whew. Should be plenty. Notifications. We decided not to use Firebase Cloud Messaging and trying to use the MDM. Applications. You can send a config with your applications. So we decided to do that instead. So proxy sends notification, proxy sends notifications. I'm gonna close this to get node key. So we need like a new task, right? I want to install the app initially. Then you're still using the MDM Android profile. I want to update the profile to now say, hey, hey, we have a new config, like this device is supposed to have this additional certificate. So these two notification tasks should be new task. Okay, get installed certs. So we want to support SCEP certs. So we want the Android app to use SCEP protocol to install cert. That's straightforward. We have 8 points for that. That's fine. Publish official version to Google Play Store. So this includes signing, right? How do we sign? Where are the keys? Sign it with each key. Yeah. Document the deployment flow. Yeah, this is all good. And then once an agent gets a cert, we want the agent to tell the server, yo, I got the cert, or I had issues, I couldn't do it. Sorry, my bad. So the tasks roughly are still the same, just the notification process changed. So I think this, what we say here, 5 is fine. Like the work is still fine. Let's talk about the other tasks. So yeah, so now like the server configs, like we tell the server this. No, this is not it. Anyway, we tell the server. Server. I don't see the configs anyway. Let's roughly say certificates, CRUD endpoints, yes. Cron job that sends those notifications. So we already have a cron job. We already have that reconcile profiles cron job. So it would be part of the same job. Let me make a note here. Already have a, what do we call it? Profiles, reconcile reconcile profiles job for Android. So this would be part of the same job. Would be, could be. Soften the language, could be. All right, guys. I gotta run my stand-up, so thanks for joining. Hope you learned something. All Android, all the time. Good stuff. All right, see you guys